Actors have burning questions. Our acclaimed director and resident acting coach has answers. And now, live when we recorded it, director Ryan R. Williams has answers for screen actors. Powered by Act Club.
Eddie Vincent writes, when you go in for an audition, do you recommend going as your character or just being yourself and then read as your character? I guess there's different schools of thought on this, but I myself like to see almost no perceptible transition between the actor and the role. I'm looking to cast you. I'm not looking for you to play a character. I'm looking for actors who drop their act when I'm casting personally. Most of the time, you can throw a rock in this town and hit 50 people who can play a role 50 different ways. And if they play it just like themselves, they're going to be very effective in that part. Early on in your career, before you're able to make those transition roles like Daniel Day-Lewis, you're typically just playing yourself. So in the sense that you are yourself and you should walk in comfortable and at ease, yes, you should come in the character. But I would try not even looking at it as a character per se. I would just simply put yourself in the situation, ask the magic what if this was happening to me, and then be yourself. It's certainly ill-advised to go dressed as your character, especially if you're playing a doctor or a police officer. Nothing's more corny than an actor showing up in your office dressed as a cop. You think you're getting a stripogram. The truth is, you should wear something to suggest the character. If you're playing a detective, by all means, wear a sports coat, but maybe just with a collar, sans tie. If you're going up for the role of a stripper, don't come in wearing 9-inch platform heels and pasties, but maybe something sexy. Now, a few words about being yourself. You want to be yourself at your most dynamic and interesting, not yourself when you're laying on the sofa watching TiVo. Be your most charismatic self, the self you'd bring to a cocktail party or a premiere. Don't overdo it. Try to match the tone of the people in the room. The actors should savor every moment of it, but don't delay. Get right down to the work. They're there to see you work as an actor. So the less of yourself you have to be in between the interstitial parts. It's always awkward when an actor comes in and starts trying to goof around. Take the temperature of the room. Maybe you can raise it by a few degrees if they're really cold. But don't try to go in there with a flamethrower and blow everybody away. You're just going to annoy them. So in general, be yourself, with a few exceptions. If you're going out for the role of a character who has an accent, and you're not a known entity, like a Kevin Spacey, or a Dustin Hoffman, or a Meryl Streep, if you come in with an accent, it better be just like it's your own voice. Sometimes you might be called in for a role that requires a Russian accent. Say, well, if they're not going for a name actor, then they're probably going to hire someone who actually has an authentic Russian accent. And if they hire you, it's only going to be because you fooled them into thinking you had an authentic Russian accent, which means you'll have to wear that accent around day to day. Use it in the grocery store. Tell the barista at Starbucks you're from Moscow and you just came back from the Olympics. Why not? You're an actor. Have a little fun with it. Make them wonder was something a great man once said to me when he was referring to acting. Make them wonder. Be yourself. Play yourself. And if for some reason there's a constraint on the character that makes it so you have to chip away large parts of yourself to be legitimate, well, perfect those things that you're going to adapt. If you're putting on an accent, do it well. Walk into the room with that accent, but do it well. There's plenty of YouTube videos that'll help you with an accent. Perfect it. Take the time in your car to really work that accent out. Certainly there's other exceptions. If you're not particularly edgy or rock and roll and you're going out for the lead singer in a band, you might want to rock it out a little bit. Wear some jewelry or maybe even some fake tattoos, but be sure to put powder on. Nothing can look inorganic. Those little reminders that you might be right for the part are perfect. The little subtle things you can do to suggest it. But anything over the top, and people will start to be cheesed out. 9 times out of 10, when someone gets cast in a role, they say, the guy just walked in the room and we knew it was him. That's because he is the part, in real life. Who you are as a person invariably ends up following you around. Most of the things you'll have to fake for a character, like being able to be comfortable on top of a horse or brandishing a broadsword, those things won't be required of you in the audition anyway. It's a matter of luck. You get called in for all these auditions because they like your shot, and then when you walk in the door, they say, that's our guy. They're going to say that based on precisely who you are. If you're a celebrity, they might say, well, we wrote the role to be a Korean gentleman, but Jay Moore is willing to do it. What do you think of a blonde comedian? If you're not known, then they're just going to go for exactly what they pictured in their mind. And maybe that's you, maybe not. Sometimes you get lucky, but luck is when opportunity meets preparation. At the end of the day, cut to the chase. Do a good read. Make it an emotional argument. Use one of the 5 primary emotions that read: anger, love, joy, fear, sadness. Play it as an obstacle so it doesn't look like you're trying to milk it or be melodramatic. Finding any opportunity you can to make an emotional argument usually works the best.
This has been Answers for Screen Actors. To learn more about opportunities to train with our director in person, go to actclubla.com. actclubla.com.